Welcome to another A Tippling Philosopher video. Today I'm going to talk to you about biblical hermeneutic circularity. All big words. So what does that mean? Well, a hermeneutic is an interpretative method or theory used to understand particularly the Bible. So a framework with which to interpret the Bible and biblical text. But they are often fraught with issue, and it depends where you start off. For Christians, they often start off with the idea of making the Bible say what they want it to say. And this underwrites a sort of confirmation bias that they have when approaching the Bible. And one example of this is the Chicago Statement, particularly Article 3 of the Chicago Statement. What is a Chicago Statement? Well, it's a statement on biblical inerrancy that was formed by 200 evangelical leaders at a conference convened by the International Council on Biblical Inerrancy. And it was held in Chicago, hence its name, in October 1978. And the statement was designed to defend a position of biblical inerrancy against, more liberal trends towards criticizing biblical inerrancy. Now, I think it's an interesting statement. It has been changed slightly. This is the original 1978 version. Article 3, we affirm that the written word in its entirety is revelation given by God. We deny that the Bible is merely a witness to revelation, or only becomes revelation in encounter, or depends on the responses of men for its validity. And then the 1982 version has changed it quite meaningfully. So that says, we affirm that the person and work of Jesus Christ are the central focus of the entire Bible. We deny that any method of interpretation which rejects or obscures the Christ-centeredness of Scripture is correct. Whoa. So that second sentence is really important. Let's read that again. We deny that any method of interpretation which rejects or obscures the Christ-centeredness of Scripture is incorrect. Wow. So that's widely used as a predetermined conclusion in divinity schools and educational establishments up and down the US, such as the Divinity School at the University of South Carolina. They will use that statement as a declaration of how they're going to go about interpreting the Bible. And of course, this is presuppositional. It's an incredibly uncritical approach to education. I bet these same evangelicals talk about freedom of rights, freedom to bear arms, small government, government overreach, Marxists telling you what to think. And yet here, this is the thought police. They are telling you what to think. They are saying that they are affirming that the person and work of Jesus is central to the entire Bible. Well, yeah, I can get on board with that. But if I was to be a Christian, that seems pretty obvious. Yeah, Jesus is central to the Bible and understanding the Bible. But then to say we deny any method of interpretation which rejects or obscures the Christ-centeredness of Scripture is correct. So any way of interpreting the Bible that is critical of Jesus or critical of understanding the truth of Jesus as being at the center of the Bible and the understanding of Jesus that we have has to be flat out denied. In other words, they are inoculating themselves from biblical criticism, from like the school of higher criticism, if you like. Is to say that whether you like it or not, Jesus is central to the Bible, and anything that tells you otherwise is denied out of hand. We're not even going to use that to analyze biblical claims. It's my printer. There's no one else in the house. Why is my printer doing that? Ooh. So it's an incredibly problematic stance when you are, well, obviously such theists aren't, when you are interested in finding the truth and interested in dealing objectively with all evidence and arguments that you can come across, because this is basically saying we're not even going to deal with these arguments. We're going to deny them out of hand. We're not even going to consider this interpretative method. I'm not even going to bother reading it because I already deny it. I'm not even going to bother understanding these criticisms because I already deny them. How can that be searching for truth? How can that be a fair, neutral, objective search for the ultimate truth and of the Bible? It is just presuppositionalism, which is to say I presuppose the truth of the Bible. There you go. End of. Doesn't matter what you say. Bosh. And of course, you're always going to be a biblical inerrantist if you refuse to even deal with any position whereby the Bible can be errant, can be erroneous, can be wrong. If you're saying, I literally can't deal with that, then you will always be a biblical inerrantist. And there's nothing anyone can say. Even if you accept the possibility that the Bible is not true, even if there are amazingly good arguments that the Bible is not true, you will remain an inerrantist because you will be refusing to deal with any counter arguments against your position. It's about affirming who Jesus is and denying out of hand anything that goes against that. Any interpretative method that might lead you to the conclusion that Jesus is not who you thought he was. It's circular. It's self-affirming. It's presuppositional. It's whatever you want it to be. It's not good academia. It's not good scholarly approach to discovering the truth. That's a problem. That's theology for you. Anyway, question everything, particularly your interpretative methods to dealing with any text that you come across. Particularly question yourself and your own methods in interpreting things and your own confirmation biases. Confirmation bias, the notion that you will ascribe more value to something that confirms your conclusion than that you will ascribe to evidence that disconfirms your conclusion. Okay, we all do it. It's one of the biggest cognitive biases. You need to be aware of that. We all need to be aware of that. And something like this Chicago statement is basically affirming and codifying confirmation bias. Don't do it. Anyway, take care. Stay safe.